Hi everyone, I'm Delilah, aka Assassina-san. Welcome to my channel. I just want to thank everyone. I made 1,000 subscribers on Facebook Gaming. I know it's a little weird, like this is YouTube and I'm doing a video about my Facebook Gaming page milestone on YouTube. It's very weird. I know, I'm sorry. The thing is, I want all of my Q&As to be in one place. So if I have them all on YouTube in one playlist, I could refer to those so I know which questions I've already discussed. I can refer people back to those videos if need be. And it's just a little less redundant, a little less work, I think, hopefully. But yeah, I just want to thank everyone on my Facebook Gaming page that's been showing me love. I do a lot on there, I think more than any other platform, because pretty much everything I do goes there. Like all the things I collect, any pictures I take or unboxing videos are shared to the Facebook Gaming page, even if they're like natively on YouTube or something like that. Every stream I do is on my Facebook Gaming page. All of the platinums I earn's on there. All of my reviews go on there. Like literally everything goes on there. So it makes sense that this is the first platform that I'm most successful on. And I say successful because, you know, it's not what it's about, right? But anyway, so in celebration of me earning 1,000 followers, I decided to do a Q&A video, and some of you guys submitted your questions, and I'm gonna do my best to get all of them in this video, but I don't want this video to be too long. So if I don't get to your question, I'm really sorry. And then there were just some questions I don't want to answer, you know? That's okay. Some things are meant to be mysterious. All right, so let's get into the questions. This question is from Oscar Gun 1980. Sometimes there's typos, so I will fix those when I read them out loud. Honestly, did you like The Last of Us 2? I still haven't seen your video gameplays in YouTube. Gameplay videos in YouTube, I think is what he meant. Yes, I did like The Last of Us 2. I'm not sure if The Last of Us 2 is my game of the year over Final Fantasy VII Remake. I do like them both for very different reasons. I do think Final Fantasy Remake, I ended that game feeling a lot better. I was so confused, but The Last of Us 2 left me with a really sour taste in my mouth. It was intended to do that. It was intended to make me feel empty. It was intended to make me feel sad. And the Final Fantasy VII Remake had sad moments, but it was mostly an upbeat, fun game. It was also nostalgic for me. It had a lot more moments of levity. Well, a lot more. I mean, two different games. But I really liked The Last of Us 2. I wrote a full review on my Facebook Gaming page. Actually, I wrote a full review with God Hates Geeks, which is a website that I write reviews for, video game reviews, and I posted that on my Facebook Gaming page along with screenshots. I also did a spoiler cast with Dead Cell Media, and we all had very different opinions on it, so I go really deep into my thoughts of The Last of Us characters, gameplay, combat, everything in that video. And I'm not trying to like divert the question for you to like consume other things that I made, but I feel like if you really want a robust understanding of what about the game I liked and didn't like, that would be the best way to go about it. But in a nutshell, I really like the game. I understand why people hate it. I get the hate. I don't agree with people threatening the lives of people that worked on that game at all. Like, that is bullshit, and if you're one of those people and you're watching this video, get the fuck out. Seriously, it's bullshit. It's okay to not like the game. It's not okay to threaten people's lives over a fucking video game, or like for anything. Like, anyway, I really like The Last of Us 2. Wasn't a perfect game. I wouldn't have given it a 10. I did give it like, I gave it like a 4.8 out of 5. Which is almost a 10, but the reason why I didn't give it a 10 is because I felt like some places dragged out a little bit. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Some areas were just too dragged out. I prefer a linear style for that kind of game, and this game was a lot more open than I think it needed to be. So that's why I didn't give it a 10. But other than that, music, gameplay, storytelling, even though you might not necessarily feel like you like the structure of it or you didn't like the direction they go with it. I personally think it was brilliant, but I get it. Everything else pretty much great. Okay, next question is from Reaper Kaze. I love you, girl. I love you so much. Okay, she said, who do you love more, Frankie or Chopper? She's talking about One Piece characters. Girl, you're making me anxious. Here's the thing. One Piece is the single series that I have not finished. It is the single series that I started and stopped and restarted again 3 times. I am now on this series for the 4th time. And when I say 3 times, it's a combination of me reading the manga and a combination of me watching the anime. So basically, I read the manga for the very first time. I stopped at East Blue. And then I watched the anime a little past East Blue. And then I stopped, read the manga again, got past where I was when I watched the anime, which wasn't even a full arc after that. And then I restarted it. I bought all of them physical. I bought the omnibus edition. I bought up until I think volume 89. And then I stopped because a lot of games came out for the Switch, and manga is kind of something that I do when I'm on the train or I'm taking a shit. So yeah, video games pretty much took over that kind of downtime, but I do want to get back to it. I'm on Skypiea, I think is where I left off. This is where I'm up to. I promise you I will revisit this question once I get to know Frankie and Chopper more, because I know they have new powers and I know more stuff has happened. But from where I would say, judging from East Blue and before, I'm gonna go with Chopper. He's fucking cute. He's a cute little reindeer. He's swole as fuck when he turns into a human reindeer. Like, he's a doctor, you know. Frankie's just crazy over the top, which is also fun. But I've gotten to know Chopper a lot more than Frankie, I think. But I can see it being a hard question to answer once I do read further into the manga. So I'm sorry that was like a botched up answer. Let's talk about that another time. Maybe in a future Q&A video when I finally catch up with One Piece. Next question. This question is from William Boyle, a really loyal member of my community on the Facebook gaming page. Okay, so he has 2 questions, so I will answer both of them because he is a prized member. So the first question is, any cool or interesting places that you have visited and or would like to visit? Okay, so it's been a while since I've traveled anywhere because obviously coronavirus, and before that I was in grad school, so I didn't really have time. But right before grad school, I went to Costa Rica, and it was beautiful. I went with family. I went with my aunt and my grandma, and it was one of the best trips I've ever been on because it was just us women in like this like really ritzy resort, and then we would leave the resort to go do excursions. Basically, here's my favorite excursion, probably the most memorable moment of this trip. We drive through the mountains to this hot spring. We walk up the hill, we mount some horses. Then after we mount the horses, we ride the horses all the way up this mountain. We get to the top of the mountain and we zip line all the way through the jungle down to the hot spring. And then we end the day with food and then a dip in the hot spring. It was, we also had a mud bath. Like, oh god, that trip was so great. I want to go back. I just want to go on vacation again. I freaking miss it. I miss traveling. I miss spending time with my family, like in a way where I don't feel like I'm putting them at risk because I'm obviously young and I could, whatever. You guys know what the deal is with this COVID shit. But yeah, Costa Rica was one of my favorite places. Also, Jamaica. I haven't been to Jamaica since I was 6, and you're probably thinking, why is one of your favorite places somewhere you went when you were 6? Well, that's because I still have vivid memories of climbing the Dunn's River Falls with my mom, dad, and brother as a child. And I remember so much from that trip that it's really hard not to say it was one of my favorite places to visit. It was one of the most, I think, my first memorable, breathtaking moment with nature that I've ever had. My very first one as a 6-year-old. And I still, right now, can think about when I'm entering the Dunn's River Falls, just how beautiful that scenery was. I really like tropical places, but the place that I want to visit, to answer the second part of your first question, is Japan. Obviously, I'm a fucking nerd, you know, and that's like a haven for nerds. Like, I got figures everywhere. Like, I'm into Japanese culture and weeb culture, as people say. And I want to go there. I want to climb Mount Fuji. I want to dip in some hot springs over there. I want to go into, you know, cat cafes. I want to see all the all the arcades that they have, all the stores that they sell retro things like Famicoms and shit like that. There's just so much about Japan that I want to visit. Plus, I can maybe visit my friend Caroline and maybe meet my friend Keiko. I know a few people out there in Japan that I would love to visit. And I think it would be good to be with some people who live over there, because you get to know like the real good places. Okay, your second question. This is a little bit of a dark one, but that's okay. Where were you and what were you doing during the 9/11 2001 attacks, and how did you react to it all? So I was a freshman in high school when the 9/11 attack happened, and I was in, I think, English class. I was in some class on the second floor. I don't know why I remember that detail, but I can't really remember the subject. I was actually having a great time not paying attention to class and instead making jokes with my friends in the back of the classroom. I was one of those kids that sat in the back of the classroom by the window. And I was like that all the way through getting my master's degree. So that trend didn't really stop. But anyway, yeah, so I was just having a good time, not paying attention to the professors. Then all of a sudden, the energy in the classroom just shifted. And I see people running up to the windows. And then I finally, like, I thought right before people ran to windows that this other guy came in that I didn't know, some other teacher, and he was like, oh, hey, like, some serious stuff. And I say some serious stuff because I was like, whatever, screw him. He's gonna do some, like, teacher bullshit. Like, I'm just gonna have fun with my friends. And we were having such a great time, like, laughing with each other, that I thought he was just teaching something that was not about the real world, that was just like history or something. Stupid me, he was telling us that literally the Twin Towers got attacked and Manhattan is in shambles right now. And I ran up to the window, and when I saw everyone else running up there, and you can see smoke even though I was in the Bronx and the attack happened in Manhattan, you can see the smoke from the window of my high school. So at that moment I knew, oh shit, this is like something serious. But when you're that age, and I know in high school, like, you have a little bit more empathy and understanding than you do as like a child, as like a 8-year-old maybe, or 7, 6, 5, whatever. But at that age, I was still very much so ignorant and bliss. They say ignorant is bliss, whatever. But yeah, I was pretty ignorant to the weight of what something like that meant for New York City and the world. And I had a reaction where it was like, well, I get to go home early from school. And then I got home and I realized my freaking aunt was walking from her job because she worked in Manhattan, and she had to walk from there to her home in the Bronx on foot. And she was thirsty and she was breathing in smoke. And people died around her, and Manhattan was just in shambles. And that's when, and then you started to hear the racism against like Muslim people and all that shit. And that was when I realized, like, wow, something really bad happened. And I was too busy having a good time being a kid, enjoying my blissful life, to really understand the weight of it when somebody in a classroom was trying to explain it to me. So if I could go back and slap myself in the face, I probably would. You know, New York City has come a really long way from that incident, and I'm thankful that no one in my family was extremely affected, with the exception of my aunt, who had to walk home that day, but she was fine. She came out of it healthy. No one I know died, but I know a lot of people who had family members or friends or loved ones that passed away because of it, and it really sucked. And I'm so glad we're so far away from that, but now we're in another global issue, and the weight of that is really weighing in on me, and less on me than others that I actually serve. Like, my clients are being really impacted by that, and I'm sure many other people. So yeah, a little bit of a dark question, but it was a good one. So thank you for asking. Next question is from The Sketch. The Sketch said, with GTA coming... Oh, William, you would like this question. With GTA coming to the PS5, will you get it now for the 4, since they're giving away $1 million a month until it drops for the PS5? No. I played GTA 4... Sorry, I played GTA 5 when it came out. And it was for the PS3 at the time. And I tried to platinum that game. And I did all the single player trophies, like including like the knife flights, the helicopter missions, and the completion of all the like car tricks and bike tricks and shit, which were really hard. And then I went into the multiplayer space and realized I needed to reach level 100. And I was like, nah, fuck that. I reached like maybe level 30 or 50. I don't know. I don't remember. It was so long ago. And then when everything transferred to the PS4, you were able to transfer all of your saves and online data to the PS4, but the problem is my trophies didn't transfer. And so that really discouraged me from continuing to play GTA 4. So I'm hoping not only does your progress with the game transfer over, but also like trophies. People that maybe earned the PS3 trophies and then the PS4 and like don't want to fucking do it again for the PS5, but still want to have that accolade. So no, I won't be playing it, but you best believe if GTA 6 comes out, I'm fucking on that. Okay, next question is Grande Icarus. Do you sleep? I know I look tired all the time. I know I platinum a lot of games. I know all these things. The reason why I look tired is, one, I don't fucking wear makeup. That's one reason that I look tired. The other reason I look tired is because I just, like, that's just my face, man. Like, I look like a tired ass bitch. And I think I just, like, naturally have heavy eyelids and dark circles around my eyes. I'm a little bit of a raccoon. It's okay. Everything's great. I sleep a lot more than I used to now. Even though I wake up early, I go to work, I create video content, I play video games, I platinum games, I do a lot, I still get at least like 5 to 6 hours of sleep on average, and on weekends I get about 8 hours of sleep. But back in the day, like, I would break night all the time, and I looked less tired than I do now because I was a young spring chicken. So yes, I do sleep, and sleep is not for the weak. Sleep gives you a resting bonus, which means you can do all the tasks during your day more effectively, and it helps your body heal. And when you get older, you will learn that too. Not just you, Grande Icarus. Everyone that's watching this video. That is the best way to heal. Link, look, listen. I love you too. Link, look, listen says, what that Raiden do? He's a bad kitty. Okay, this question comes from Memoirs 202. Been a while, D. How is the game? I haven't had time to watch your videos 12-hour shift. Is Ellie well developed or is she lackluster? So I kind of answered this in the beginning. I'll just answer about Ellie because I didn't really touch on that in the first question. Game's great, but Ellie, I feel like I liked her a lot more in the first game. Now she's like a hormonal teenager, which, you know, coming from me who's not a teenager anymore, could be a little off-putting, although she wasn't. But you do see a little bit of like the teenage hormonal stuff coming up in her, but she was also on a hate path, a revenge path, which would obviously make someone more unlikable than before, where she was having like funny quips with like Bill, and she was reading comics, which I think she still does, but that wasn't really the focal point. She was playing like arcade games, like she seemed like a cool kid, and she's still like a cool badass woman as a teenager, but she just wasn't nearly as likable in this game. But her development was excellent because of the way they showed her character growth in The Last of Us 2. And I won't spoil anything, you can listen to my spoiler cast, but I feel like her path of hatred and love was really well written and well thought out and well done. Okay, the last question comes from Shannon Michael Crowe. I'm sorry if I said that wrong. Saddest moment in gaming history for you? This is hard. I think The Last of Us, funny we're talking about it, is the saddest game I've ever played. Actually, The Last of Us 2 is sadder, but The Last of Us 1 made me cry more. The Last of Us 2 just made me feel uncomfortable and empty, which is a very different feeling than sadness. The Last of Us 1, when the beginning sequence happened, and I'm just gonna say spoiler real quick, so if you haven't played The Last of Us, just skip the video. I'll put a thumbs up when I'm done saying what I need to say. I'm doing it now. When Joel's daughter died, I cried really hard, and I never had a game that made me cry like 10 minutes into the game with barely knowing this character that died. So it was really effective. Then when Sam and Henry died, that made me cry. When Tess died, like that game was the saddest moment for me in gaming because it made me cry more than any other game has ever made me cry, ever. Spoilers done. I would say that one is pretty much up there, but also shout out to like Red Dead. The death that happened in that game, Red Dead 2, I mean, the way that death was done, and also a death that happened in the Last Guardian made me cry a lot, and also a death that happened in The Walking Dead Telltale. Those were like the saddest moments for me. I might change my answer if I get time to think about it. I didn't really look at these questions and think about them. I wanted it to be a little more spontaneous, but I'm sure there might have been some other sad moments, but those are the ones that are sticking out in the forefront of my brain right now. All right, so that's it, everyone. Thank you so much for watching this. If I hit a milestone on YouTube, which, you know, I'm not too far away from hitting 1K on there, and my milestone is always 1K. If I hit 1K on YouTube or on Twitch or on Instagram, if I hit 2K on Instagram, because we're like 4 away from hitting 2K on Instagram, I will do another Q&A video. So if there's any questions I missed, I'll do them for that video. Or if you guys have any more questions to ask me, you can feel free to submit them in this video. I have a Google Doc that I'll put in the description to this video, or you can send me a private message on Facebook, Twitch, or YouTube, or on Instagram, and I'll include those links in the description as well. So thank you to everyone who's been a supporter of the homie, everyone who has submitted their questions. It feels good to know you guys give a fuck. Thank you for supporting the homie. Bye, everyone.